My storage box is full. What do I do? What's up, guys? MTG Jedi here, and if you are like a lot of players in this game, you find yourself with a full mailbox of artifacts because your storage is also full. And I'll be honest with you, no matter if they increase this or not, it's gonna happen. You'll fill it up no matter how much they give us, but also please give us more space. Can we get a bump to 1500, please? That would be so huge. Okay, now what I want to do today, I am doing a gear cleanse for my dude Bilbo, and his account is pretty awesome. He is a very end game player, as you can see here with his insane roster. Okay, I mean, he has 13.5 million player power. He's level 94. That should tell you this dude has been playing a long time. He has some really good gear. So I've done a lot of information, mostly on my Twitch channel, about cleansing gear. But I want to talk some more on this channel, on my YouTube channel, about how to do that for those of you who just need some tips and tricks. So I'm going to go through a bunch of different filters and processes that I do on my account and other people's account, and that will help you out as well. Very first thing I do, I come in here and I do the flat stat filter. Okay, now you can see that he does have some flat stats here, although I don't know why. This one has speed, this one does not. Okay, so that's going to be a sell. And then the only flat stats that you should be looking to keep would be pieces exactly like this. Flat stat, but it has speed. Okay, that's a keepable piece, something I use on my account all the time. Now, if you are super end game, you can also think about You can also think about keeping flat stat pieces with speed on them in immunity, and flat stat pieces in, no, not Savage. Well, that's a triple crit rate roll. He might actually want that. The other set would be Perception that I would recommend. All of the rest of this, you're not going to get out of your gear what you want it to. Okay? It is not going to give you the stats that you want. Okay, Divine Speed, it doesn't have speed. Swift Parry is another one. Oh, geez. I'm not supposed to touch Swift Parry, though. So we're going to leave all of that alone. So this has speed. We'll roll that real quick. Otherwise, we're going to get rid of all that. And then we'll do a comparison on what you can do. Now, I use OMG Click. OMG, I need you to sponsor me, bro. What is this? Wait till your game is fully loaded. It is fully loaded. So we double hit speed here. So we're going to go again. Okay, I don't know what's going on with OMG Click today. So, maybe there's an update. There's an update for it. Okay, I need to update that program. So I'm going to just stop this, otherwise it will take too long on camera. Okay, so here's the thing. If you get these speed rolls in speed sets, and Perception counts as a speed set because you get a speed bonus, 5% speed. Then, something in my mouth, a hair in my mouth or something, gross. Then you can come in here and that speed will be beneficial on champions that their only concern is their speed, okay? And there's a lot of champions who's only concerned about speed and accuracy, so Perception is a very good fit there as well. All right, the Next filter, you know what? Let me just give you an example, okay? So if we were to come in here, let's find those flat attack gloves, these ones. This would raise your attack by 265, okay? Do we have attack percentage gloves that are all the way leveled up? Perfect, they're right next to each other. Attack 265, and here's a 6-star attack percentage glove. It is over double the increase. Over double the increase. And that's the difference between flat stats and percentage stats. Maybe at some point I'll do an actual video on that, but I think that that's an important thing to show you guys, because some people think, oh no, it's okay, it'll be all right. But the thing is, it works with 5 stars as well. I don't know if he has good examples on his account here, but it will be the same for defense. It'll be the same for HP, okay? Defense is a little bit better depending on the champion you want to do it on, because there are cases, but 99% of the time, this is going to be a terrible piece. 99% of the time. And so it's worth it to just get the silver right away. The next thing that I come in and I'd look for is I look for those attack percentage gloves. And basically, we have 16 pairs. We want to sell the majority of these, okay? Because unless they have speed or all good substats, or they're 6-star, you're never going to use them. You should not be using attack percentage gloves. You want to give yourself a couple options just in case. Even that one is a no. That one is a no as well. Okay, so I come in here and I delete almost all of the attack percentage gloves on every account. My account included. Okay, you just do not need them. You do not need them. Okay. What then after that? Because a lot of people know that already. A lot of people know that already. The next thing that I come in and I do is I look for combinations of those flat stats, and I focus on rare pieces of gear first, and then I take a look. So this didn't start out with 2 flat stats, as you can see, and this is a perfectly fine and usable piece. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Accuracy with a substat of crit damage. Can be usable, but on an endgame account like this, it's just not going to be good enough. Okay, so if you were earlier game, maybe you would try to roll that. This has speed on it. That's the only consideration there. But actually, for an endgame account like this, this is not going to work out. I mean, I guess you could try rolling that to 16, but it's already hit flat attack twice, so that's a sell. That would be like an early game piece that would be acceptable. And then we're going to go through all of the combinations of that, okay? This is the same type of piece here, and I'll go through in a little bit more detail. What we're really looking for are rare pieces with these 2 substats, and he has none. That's a good sign for him that his gear is in a good spot. Now, I also do the flat stats with resistance, again looking for rare gear. Not rare gear that's rolled to 16, usually not rare gear that's rolled to 12, but this is a perfect example. This piece is unusable. Unusable, because it is not providing any benefit. This piece, unusable, unless you're early game and all you need is speed. Then you just take what you can get. Okay, so I'm going to just look at the last one real quick, and then we're going to dive a little deeper. This one, unusable. And okay, so then I'll go ahead and I'll go back through all of the epic and legendary later on, because that's a little bit more picky. Okay, this one did not hit speed, so that's a sell. All right. Now, how do you tell if your gear is good or not? Okay, The number one thing you're looking for is whatever the set says. Okay? If it is a speed set, you're looking for it to have speed. This does not have speed, and it hit a flat attack. That's a sell, even though it's a 6-star legendary item. Okay? What about critical rate set? You are looking for it to have critical rate. The other option with crit rate is crit damage and attack percentage. Okay, so technically that would be a usable piece, not for this account. Okay. In crit damage, in the offense set up there, in basically any set, crit rate and or speed are stats that you want to look for. Okay. Also, accuracy is a stat that you want to look for. If you have a piece that will like double roll accuracy or double roll crit rate or double roll speed, the way that you know your gear is good is by those double and triple rolls. A piece of gear is going to be much better if it hits 2 times on the same stat, just like that. Perfect for the video. Then if it spreads out, okay? Because by getting this huge amount of accuracy, you can put this on an accuracy-based champion that's what you're concerned with. Now, sometimes if it goes 1-1-1, which is pretty common, then it's still a usable piece, but then what you need for it is to roll a high roll, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? So, on a 6-star piece, you can have 5, 6, or 7 for your stats. Okay? Accuracy is different. Resistance is different. The flat stats are different. We don't care about that. All of the other ones are 5, 6, or 7. Okay? So if we just look at another piece here, see we have 7% crit rate, 6% HP percentage. Okay? And if you go 1-1-1, what you need is you need to have high stats to start with, and you also need them to roll those higher numbers. Otherwise, it's just going to be a very mediocre piece here. So that's why you're looking for pieces like this, because that makes it way easier to use. Okay? Pieces where it rolls 1-1-1, like this is likely to do, you just end up not using as much because they're more spread out. Okay? Now, in every set, as I was saying, there are certain things that you're looking for. Okay? So let me just continue to go through. In accuracy, you're looking for accuracy. In resistance, you're looking for resistance. In lifesteal, you're usually looking for defensive stats. Sometimes you want crit rate and crit damage, but that depends on what you're doing with the lifesteal. Daze is not good, but it'd be dependent on the champion, what kind of stats you would want in Daze. Usually Daze is used as an offset or just like strong pieces. Even this is pretty mediocre with the 19% HP. I mean, that's just hard to use. Oftentimes in Daze, you're looking for percentage gloves and chest, speed boots with good substats, etc. In Frost, most people are looking for defensive stats. This has some crit stats and defensive stats, so that's probably perfect for someone like Norman. In Frenzy, you're looking for crit stats. In Regeneration, you're looking for HP percentage. In Immunity, you're either looking for all offense or all defense or good speed roll. Okay? So this piece here, you would only be focused on the crit rate and the attack percentage most likely. Maybe if you were trying to do a defensive build, you could go with the HP percentage part. But see here, we have speed, crit rate, crit damage. Good for an offensive nuker in immunity. Okay, good for an offensive nuker in immunity. Good for an offensive nuker in immunity. Okay, it sounds like we should be gearing some people in immunity on this account. Is there a piece? This would be a perfect example of something you would want to put on a cleanser, okay? Like Sky Touch Shaman is only concerned about her speed so that she can cleanse the debuffs, okay? I have put immunity on people's arbiters before. Usually if they have a second one, you put the first one in all speed gear and the second one in immunity, and then all you're concerned about is the speed roll. So that's a very good example of that. Shield set is a very versatile set. It's kind of like immunity. Sometimes you want all the offensive crit stats. Sometimes you just want to like triple roll HP percent on your shield set items, because all you're looking for is the most amount of HP that you can. This is a set where you're really looking for HP percent on the gauntlets and the chest. Both of these you would normally sell. Like, these are not great. However, because their main stat is so important, then that makes them a keepable piece. Relentless is the most customizable set in the game. And when I need an offset, I really come to this set first. Because if you're winning Relentless gear, you're going to have epic and legendary 6-star gear, and you'll just have a lot of options of sets. Defense, flat defense, yuck. Resistance, HP percent, accuracy. This could be a very awesome piece for very specific needs, okay? So, Relentless, obviously, you would want damaging stats for most of the people who are going to be put in Relentless. But sometimes you're just trying to get extra turns, and so you want defensive pieces as well. If they have a good combination of stats, Relentless, that would be a keep. Savage, you need crit rate. You need crit rate. There's no crit rate on this. There's no crit rate on this. There's crit rate on this. This is better than both of these legendary pieces, because Savage set needs crit rate. Savage set needs crit rate. Destroy, you probably want crit stats. Really the only use for Destroy is against the Scarab boss. Stun, very versatile. Any kind of good stats there will work. Oftentimes you want defensive stats. Toxic, very versatile now as well. A lot of times you want crit stats. Sometimes you just want speed. Okay, for your dragon teams, your clan boss teams. Retaliation and Avenging are very difficult to use, because you need really good gear pieces with great crit stats in order to make a build in one of these work. I've been actually looking for some good counterattack gear, but that's just for me to mess around. Stalwart has been my go-to for the Eternal Dragon boss in Doom Tower. So if you're struggling with Eternal Dragon, try putting some of your champions in Stalwart. It will drastically reduce the damage they're going to take. Reflex is one of those sets where you're looking for typically defensive stats, but it's going to decrease the cooldown, so it depends on what champion you're trying to use it on. Curing can go on healing champions, but it's not great. Cruel, again, if it doesn't have crit rate, it had better have crit damage and attack percentage. Immortal, very versatile set. Number one go-to set for Faction Wars is Immortal. You can have crit stats. You can have defensive stats. You can have speed. You can have accuracy. Just like any kind of good stats that you'd be looking for on any pieces. If they're on Immortal set, you can find a use for them on your Faction Wars. We're going to have our work cut out for us here on those Immortal pieces. Divine Offense, crit stats. Divine Crit Rate, crit stats. Divine Life, I have a secret love for Divine Life. I love putting it on my champions, but usually you want defensive stats with HP. Divine Speed, you're looking for speed. Swift Parry, you're looking for speed. But sometimes in Swift Parry, you're also looking for very defensive stats. Sometimes in Swift Parry, you're looking for crit stats. Deflection, never used it. Never used it. Do not recommend forging this set. They need to buff it or something. Like, make this a 50% chance instead of 25. And then bump both of these to 25%. Then maybe people will start to use that. Otherwise, you just always forge Swift Parry. Okay. Resilience has been my go-to set recently. You can forge it forge it because it is very good. Okay, it raises HP and defense, which means it's going to be good on Faction Wars champs. It's good on dungeon champs. It's good just as offset pieces with good stats. I really like this set. It's very underrated. Perception, one of the best sets in the game. You can have straight speed rolls. Any piece with speed or accuracy should be rolled. This should be rolled to see, do I need the accuracy? Like, do I double or triple hit accuracy? This is going on someone. This is very similar to the immunity set, so similar things apply there. Guardian set, one of the best new sets in the game, and there are a couple other sets that he does not have on his account. Okay, so the next thing that I do, now that you know what we're looking for, the next thing that I do is I literally look through every piece on the account with a flat stat on it as a substat. Is it raining again? Oh my goodness. Raining again. So if this has a flat stat, number one has a 5-star rare piece, that's just a sell. If you're mid-game trying to get to the late game, do not use pieces like this. 5-star blue is what you're trying to avoid. Even the 6-star blue, if it has a bad substat, that should be a sell unless it has, like, this is a good example of a example. Here's my example, guys, of a good keepable piece. Crit damage gloves, you want crit rate on them, and so you need to roll that to see whether it hits the crit rate, because if it hits flat HP twice, it's a sell. If it hits crit rate once, it's usable. If it hits it twice, it's very good. So that's what we're looking for. And then I just go through. This was a double hit on speed, so that's a keep. This has that crit rate that we were looking at. This has just speed, not good enough. This has just speed, probably not good enough. This has HP percent, not good enough. And then I will go through and I will look at all of these pieces. And I will just take some time and then sell the bad ones. Okay? And then I'm going to go through and do that for attack. I'm going to go through and do that for defense. And once you do that, the leftover gear is all going to have decent stats. If you still have too much gear after that, then you need to come in and you need to look more specifically at, okay, I hit HP percent and accuracy. It still has speed. Is this keepable? Yes, probably. This one, 2 flats and then a little bit of speed. No, that's not keepable. Okay, so, but that one actually would have come up on the flat stat filter. All right. Anytime you hit a flat stat as one of your rolls, like we hit speed here, double speed, perfect. Okay. 5-star blue in general are very difficult to use. Okay? Very difficult to use. So the majority of the time, you're going to want to sell 5-star blue pieces. The exception is speed. The exception is speed on the boots. Okay? So like right now, if you want to make your account better, as long as you're mid-game, then go and delete, sell all of your 5-star blue on your account. Unless they're 16, but like HP percent, those are all a sell as well. Okay. Another place you can trim is on your HP percent, attack percent, and defense percent boot. He only has 38 total for all 3 of those, so we're going to sell very few of those. Most people have probably 200, and those are the least used type of boot. And after that, you're probably an endgame player if you still need more filters than that. And if you need more advice, you're past the 101 category. So that is all the information about Gear Cleansing 101. I hope this video was useful to you. If it was, hit the like button. Tell me what was your favorite part about this video in the comments. If there's something you do that you think would be useful for me to add to my gear cleansing routine, put that in the comments below as well. If you're not subscribed yet, because a lot of you are not, it's a 25-minute video. If you are enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really means a lot to me. I'm looking to get to, what's tier 3 for the content creator program? 3,000 subs. I mean, obviously 2,000 subs would be awesome on YouTube, but it's free, so consider doing that. You consider liking videos that you actually enjoy, and thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you just being here, and I hope that I was helpful to you today. Thank you guys, and have a great day.